The polarization of the last few years is undeniable. Many people have chosen vehement support of their own side over any alternatives without even exploring those options. But that should not and cannot be how we make our education policy decisions in North Carolina. Public schools are the cornerstone of our communities, our democracy, and our economy. Putting aside political differences and centering our students are imperative to making the policy decisions necessary to secure a better future for our state. Decades of disinvestment in public education, compounded by a life-changing pandemic, have left our schools in need of immediate action. And we must center that urgency in how our state is doing right now. North Carolina is ranked as the #1 state for business, but while also being ranked 48th in per pupil expenditure and dead last in school funding effort. The billions in surplus funds from the 2022-23 state budget prove that we have the means to provide better for our children, but as a state, we have chosen not to. The Public School Forum's top education issues reflect our belief that North Carolina can overcome differences in political ideologies in order to provide our children with the sound basic education guaranteed to them by our Constitution. We have several key top issues this year, including ensuring fair and competitive compensation for educators, growing, retaining, and diversifying the teacher pipeline, addressing the root causes of mental health and the school safety crises, preparing students for the world they live in, and implementing, monitoring, and evaluating the comprehensive remedial plan. You can view the full report at our website. We are not talking about throwing money at problems and hoping they somehow get fixed. We're talking about research-based solutions and shifting from viewing education as an expense to seeing it as the investment that it is, an investment in our state, our economy, and our communities. If we want to remain a top state for business, we must also become a top state for education and prepare North Carolina's kids to become the leaders of tomorrow. Possibly more important than the investment, though, is the responsibility. In November 2022, the North Carolina Supreme Court issued a ruling upholding our state constitution and the rights of our students by calling on the state to fully fund years 2 and 3 of the comprehensive remedial plan. We now have a legal obligation to do better, and it is my hope that it will motivate us to continue to provide our public schools with the resources they need without extensive legal and political battles. Divisiveness got us to our current state, which is why it cannot continue to have a place in education policy decision-making. This year, our lawmakers and stakeholders need to recognize the responsibility we all have and the need to act quickly to meet the needs of each and every student in North Carolina. Thank you for taking time with us to learn and think about education. That's all for today, and we'll see you next week.